You've heard the promises: cleaner emissions, better fuel economy, smarter engines. Euro 6 trucks, or as they're regulated under EPA 2010 standards here in the US, were supposed to be the future of long-haul trucking. But there's something they didn't tell you. Behind the curtain of eco-friendly innovation lies a harsh truth that many American truckers are only discovering after they've already made the investment. And by then, it's often too late. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on what's really going on with these next-gen trucks. We're not talking theory. We're talking real models, real truckers, and real problems. From hidden costs and maintenance nightmares to trucks that suddenly shut down without warning. This video is your wake-up call. This is not sponsored content. No manufacturers in our pocket. Just the raw, unfiltered reality that every trucker in America deserves to know before making a six-figure decision. So do this right now. Hit the like button, drop a comment if you've had any issues with your DEF system, and subscribe to this channel if you're tired of the industry hiding the truth from the people who actually keep this country moving. Because what you're about to see could change the way you look at modern trucking forever. When emissions regulations tightened across Europe, the trucking industry was forced to adapt. And soon, similar standards made their way to the United States under the EPA 2010 guidelines. The result? A new generation of trucks, built around advanced emission systems designed to drastically reduce pollution and push the industry into the future. On paper, it sounded like a win for everyone. Cleaner air, less environmental damage, more efficient engines. For fleet owners and independent operators alike, the message was clear: adapt or be left behind. Manufacturers stepped up. Freightliner released its Cascadia EPA-compliant model with an integrated after-treatment system. Kenworth rolled out the T680 with Packer's MX-13 engine, designed to meet the strictest emission thresholds ever imposed. Peterbilt introduced a revamped 579, combining aerodynamics with high-tech DEF and DPF systems. And it didn't stop at branding. These trucks came equipped with selective catalytic reduction, SCR systems that inject diesel exhaust fluid, DEF, to neutralize harmful nitrogen oxides. They also featured diesel particulate filters, DPF, to trap soot and carbon particles. Add in EGR, exhaust gas recirculation, sensors, software, and real-time data monitoring. And you've got a rolling laboratory. The promise was bold: better fuel mileage, fewer breakdowns, higher resale value, and most importantly, compliance. Trucking companies were told they'd be ahead of the curve, avoiding fines and positioning themselves as leaders in a greener future. At first, many believed it. Early data from manufacturers suggested fuel economy improvements of up to 5%, emission drops by more than 90%. The marketing was everywhere. Brochures showing beautiful highways, proud drivers, and smiling fleet managers praising how quiet, smooth, and efficient their new trucks were. And the pressure to convert was real. States like California enforced stricter emissions laws, while larger carriers pushed small operators to upgrade. Some owner-operators even struggled to get contracts unless they drove a compliant truck. In theory, it was evolution, a step forward. But here's the problem. The tech only works if the system works perfectly. And trucks don't live in theory. They live on rough highways, in blazing heat, freezing winters, and unpredictable real-world conditions. That's when the cracks started to show. Drivers began reporting breakdowns triggered by minor faults, DF system alerts, forced engine derates, DPFs clogging at the worst times. And suddenly, that future they were promised felt like a trap. Here's where things get real. Once the first wave of EPA-compliant trucks hit the highways, It didn't take long for the reality to crash into the promise. And for thousands of American truckers, that reality came with warning lights, limp mode activations, and repair bills that could drain a month's worth of runs in one shot. Let's start with the diesel particulate filter, the DPF. This system is designed to capture soot and carbon particles before they hit the air. But here's the catch. It requires constant regeneration to burn off that soot. Miss that window, maybe because you're on a long haul with no chance to stop, and the filter clogs. When that happens, your truck either derates or shuts itself down completely. And replacing a DPF? That's over $5,000. Easy. That's not counting labor or downtime. Next up, the DF system. Diesel exhaust fluid needs to be kept clean and pure. The SCR system sprays it into your exhaust to neutralize NOx emissions. If the fluid gets contaminated, and it often does, especially from poorly maintained pumps at truck stops, your sensors detect it instantly. The check engine light flashes, then the truck limits your speed. In some cases, it won't even start until the issue is resolved. A driver out of Indiana told us how his Peterbilt 579 with a Packer MX-13 locked him into 5 miles per hour mode in the middle of a snowstorm. The DEF tank heater failed, the fluid froze, and the system panicked. The result? 2 days stuck, over $3,000 in tow and repair costs, plus a delayed delivery that lost him a major contract. And that's just one story. We heard from an owner-operator in Texas who spent nearly $10,000 over the course of a year on sensor replacements, DPF cleanings, and SCR troubleshooting for his Freightliner Cascadia. The worst part? Most of the parts were back-ordered. The truck sat idle for weeks waiting for components. There's also the problem of limited expertise. While major dealerships in cities might have technicians trained on emission systems, many smaller towns don't. If your truck breaks down in rural Nebraska or North Dakota, chances are the nearest shop can't even touch your emissions controls. Or worse, they'll try and make it worse. And don't even think about tampering with the system. Federal fines for bypassing emissions equipment can reach up to $50,000. Some shops won't even look at your truck if they suspect you've deleted your DPF or SCR. All this creates a dangerous reality. These trucks are built for perfect lab conditions, but they're forced to survive in the chaos of real-world trucking. Mud, heat, hills, cold, bad DEF, tight deadlines. And in that environment, even the smallest failure can cascade into a total shutdown. Let's talk resale. A growing number of buyers are avoiding used EPA-compliant trucks altogether. They know what comes with them: a complex network of electronics, sensors, and emission systems that can fail without warning. The result? Depreciation is hitting these trucks faster than anticipated. What was once a $180,000 investment can lose 20 to 30% of its value in just the first year. And the manufacturers? They're still pushing the same promises. But in truck stops, on forums, and over midnight coffee at rest areas, the truth is spreading. Drivers are talking. And what they're saying is simple. This technology may help the environment, but it's killing the independent trucker. So now, the question is no longer, is this the future? It's, how long can we afford to keep pretending this system actually works? Look, Euro 6 trucks, or EPA-compliant trucks in the US, aren't inherently bad. They represent progress, cleaner air, and smarter technology. But let's not kid ourselves. They come at a high cost, and that cost is often dumped on the backs of working truckers. If you're considering buying one, do your homework. Ask the real questions. Can your route support proper region cycles? Is there a qualified shop nearby? Can you afford the downtime if something fails? Because once you're in, there's no easy way out. This industry is changing fast, and nobody's looking out for the independent driver anymore. That's why this channel exists, to tell the truth, without filters, without sponsors. If this video hit home, drop a comment, share your experience, and subscribe to help us reach more drivers before it's too late. And remember, it's not just about the truck, it's about your livelihood.